So I have two more names written down here, and they're kind of big. So
Pause.
Ancelotti. This
Yep.
is number six, number five in terms of Champions Leagues. There's now a debate about greatest managers of all time and all of this and all of that. This kind of leads into my question, Carl, about it's almost the Americanization of football discourse that has been happening. And it actually dovetails well with the second name that I have, which was Mbappe. So let's just throw all these together in a gumbo pot and see what happens. So we have Ancelotti, there's Mbappe. You guys can just take what you want. But the word here is legacy.
Ugh.
And I'm up. I've reached my fill of legacy discourse. It's as if.
But what does this mean for LeBron James's legacy?
Exactly. It's like the first take, undisputedization of sports discourse that I think, Carl, you've been complaining about at least since I've known you. What does this do for Ancelotti's legacy? Who cares? What does this mean for it? Is Mbappe like Kevin Durant? It's harming his legacy.
Who cares, man?
What does that mean, really?
Cares?
Have Hope is a legacy type person, so this should be an interesting, I think, discussion. But what is your problem with the framing of legacy, Carl?
Because legacy, hang on. I've actually got a note in my phone that I have saved for when this conversation comes up.
When was this written? 2017?
It's not written by me. This is what Howard Beck said. So Howard Beck said, achievements and accomplishments are what you do as an athlete. So Ancelotti having 5 Champions League titles as the manager, those are his achievements. His legacy is how people will talk about him afterwards. So what does this mean to his legacy? Well, it depends on who you talk to. It depends on when you talk to him. It depends on the various affiliations. Blah, 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 blah. Does winning a Champions League help Carlo Ancelotti's legacy? Yes. It definitely doesn't hurt it. Doesn't make him the greatest manager of all time in the eyes of football fans? Probably not. That's one of those things where it depends on who you're talking to, when you're talking to him, why you're talking to him. I think winning 5 Champions Leagues and the way in which he's won his last 2, at the very least, reconfirms the things we've known about Carlo Ancelotti forever, which is he's perhaps the best manager in the world right now, if not ever, in terms of making superstars. In terms of here's a bunch of superstars, make it click, make it work, make sure that team chemistry is the most productive to make as many of those superstars flourish. Ancelotti might be the greatest ever at that. Now, to some, making a great team even greater makes you the greatest manager of all time. To others, it's a longevity. To some others, it's about tactical innovations and have you changed the game of football. And that argument, I'm not going to get into. The thing Carlo is very, very good at, I think he's perhaps the greatest there has ever been at the thing he's good at. And I like watching it. So good for him. And that's how I feel about that. And the Mbappe thing, yeah. I don't care. And this is not. I don't care because Mbappe's been teasing this for so long. I just want to see it now.
Yeah.
We've been talking about Mbappe going to Real Madrid for more than 2 years. I think that's the thing. Oh, it hurts his legacy and this and this and this. I think it's just because we've spoken about it for 2 years and we're only now just getting it. And there's no guarantee it's going to be. I think the fun thing is there's still no guarantee it's going to be good. So, look, if he wins,
my issue with legacy discourse, at least, I haven't thought about it for too long, maybe just like the past 48 hours. But the one thing that I'm certain about is the framing of legacy discourse is mostly about when players lose.
Yes.
So when LeBron James loses NBA Finals, or let's say if Tatum and Brown, if they lose the NBA Finals to Luka, the primary discussion of legacy is not going to be, oh, how does this enhance Kyrie and Luka? It's going to be, how does this take away from what Brown and Tatum have built? That's the American framing. It's mostly about the loser rather than the winner, because winning just kind of reaffirms what we already think about you, whereas losing adds some level of smear, which is why I have hope when he was talking about there's an uncomfortable conversation to have with Vinny and Neymar. You're bringing Neymar, or people would bring Neymar into the discussion because there's an element of loss or loserish nature of Neymar with PSG that detracts from his overall shine or luster. So my main problem with legacy is that it can only be framed through losing. Winning doesn't really do much to it, and that's my
Yes,
one
it's
problem.
very hard to enhance. If you're a three-time Champions League winner, what's the difference between if you're a three times Champions League winner, being a four times Champions League winner doesn't help your legacy that much.
But if you were to lose
But if
that
you
final
lose
to
that
Dortmund,
final, now the keyword,
now we have evidence to beat you with.
now the key word in there is if you lose the final.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the thing of a lot of legacy talk is relying on 3 or 4 key games, which tend to be finals. And the big one of the big things is if you change the result of 4 games of football, Jurgen Klopp is up there in the discussion for greatest manager of all time. Right? If you flip a Europa League final, you flip 2 Champions League finals, 1 Europa League final, and 2 Premier League games that Man City play, Klopp is a 3 times Premier League winner, a 2 times Champions League winner. Right? You don't have to change too many bounces of a ball for Jurgen Klopp to go from being one of the best to one of the very best. And the argument, the LeBron Jordan argument was LeBron's lost X amount of NBA finals. Well,
You see,
Jordan lost a lot in the first round. He didn't lose the finals, but so where you're standing, in terms of legacy and how it's a lot, you can do a lot more damage to your legacy from losing a final than you can from getting knocked out of the quarterfinal, for example.
Now have hope. I've been dying to hear what Have Hope says.
Can I get one more? Can I get one more before Hope? I'll mute myself. So
I'm gonna go on mute. I want to hear what Have Hope thinks about legacy.
I think one big thing about legacy chat is also they say, will this defeat affect so and so's legacy? And my answer to this is always, it will if you choose to make it so. And you can choose not to. You can choose not to be bothered about this. But I think there are a lot of people that choose to do that, and this is why a lot of legacy talk now. I don't care. Does Dortmund losing that game affect Mats Hummel's legacy in terms of the great German centre back for the last 20 years? Not really. But if you want it to be, you can. But I don't care. Anyway, Hope, I'm muting myself. You can talk about whatever you want for the next 3 minutes.
All right, 3 minutes starting now. So when the great Ronaldo Nazario got poisoned in 1998 for that World Cup final, the notion was arguably one of the most talented players ever would not realize his potential of at least winning a World Cup, because the rites of passage as a great Brazilian is to win a World Cup. O2 comes through, top scorer, winning goal in the semi-final, 2 goals in the World Cup final. That was part of his legacy. So I think, because in terms of, we bring it up at the Matt Thomas points, I think legacy, comes into play when we're talking about people at the very best in their field. So you can do things to enhance your legacy. Yes, losses harm your legacy. Wins enhance your legacy. So Carlo Ancelotti going from 4 to 5, which is now 2 more than the next dude, that has now enhanced his legacy of being the greatest UCL manager ever. And now, wherever you want to put him in the overall manager list, Neymar not winning any major trophies for Brazil harmed his legacy. Neymar winning a World Cup for Brazil, being the main star, enhances his legacy. Neymar winning a UCL for PSG, meaning the main guy, would have super enhanced his legacy. So there are different things, particularly in the Champions League or your regional trophy, i.e. Euros, AFCON, Copa America, Asian Cup, or the World Cup, that if you win those things, not only winning them, what you do to them enhance your legacy. So for Vini Jr., winning goal in a UCL final, scored a goal in another UCL final, being one of the best players in our UCL campaign, his legacy has now been enhanced. Legacy matters.
But how are you defining legacy, and what is its importance in judging a footballer? So for instance, you would say that, what's a good example? Neymar maybe has a better legacy. Well, no, that's a bad example. What's a good example? It would be like trying to judge a player that's less quality on the ball than Hazard. I can't really think of one. Maybe like maybe like Ben Arfa. Ben Arfa might be better than a lot of footballers technically, and the enjoyment that you get from watching a Ben Arfa could be more than you get from watching a Vinicius or a Rodrigo or whoever the case may be. But then people would say, well, his legacy is better because he was attached to teams that won. Legacy stems from team accomplishments rather than individual accomplishments, unless it's an individual sport.
No,
like
no,
tennis, boxing,
I mean,
golf.
but then that's why I use the Ronaldo Nazario points. 100%. Rivaldo was key. Dino was key. That team was key. But when you have that superstar, you now need to do particular things because you're that superstar within that team. So in that semi-final, quarterfinal, hey, Rivaldo, thank you, bro. Dino, thank you, bro. Semi-final, R9, we need you. It's 0-0. Turkey, they are taking us all the way. Bet. Halfway line, boom, 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 boom. Bottom corner. Yo, final. Germany are actually outplaying us. Germany are actually playing really well. R9, bet. I got you. 2 goals, boom. So there are particular... See, that's why, it's harsh.
And this
But
is the-
I told you guys, in football analysis, I'm a Sith. I deal in absolutes. So there are no gray areas. It is either this or that. I'm a Sith when it comes to football analysis. So for Neymar, it's unfortunate because that was an amazing goal against Croatia.
You can't be a horseman unless you want to World Cup.
No,
That was your rule. Yeah.
And also, what he did for that World Cup as well. Hence why when we get to Messi, more penalties than goals from open play, but we'll get there when he retires. We'll get there.
Don't you dare exclude Messi.
We'll get there. We will get there.
This is fun because hope is consistent. Hope is consistent.
Hope is laying the groundwork to exclude Messi.
No, because I'll
You've
get
been
to
doing it from the very day of the final, talking
Daniel,
about if it was Mbappe's final.
Daniel, shh, don't say it. So,
Because
I'm
you've
seeing
got-
the picture.
because you've got your achievements and you've got your legacy. Now, in my eyes, Messi has been Messi's been the greatest football player in my eyes for a long time. But him getting the World Cup gave him that one extra achievement to flip his legacy up 2 or 3 levels. And it's the legacy argument is bolstered by your achievements, and it can also be denigrated by your lack of achievements. I think Neymar is top 3 all time, give him a football, create something. But that is a very nebulous thing that cannot be quantified as easy as Neymar won a World Cup. So achievements and legacy are not the same, but one feeds into the other. And this is why you can have a great legacy without necessarily having those achievements. Streets don't forget.
But
blah,
but
blah, 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 blah,
isn't
blah, blah.
legacy just kind of like another
Legacy-
way of justifying stats?
no.
No.
Legacy is loose. Legacy is not just about achievements. That is true.
So if in order to enhance your legacy, you need tangible stuff. You need to win a game. You need or man of the matches. You need goals. You need assists. You need trophies. Talking about someone's legacy is almost just a roundabout way of saying they have more goals in big games. They have more assists in big games. It enhances their legacy. It's almost a way to talk about football without talking about football. You get to talk about everything that goes around the game and the results of the game, but you're not actually talking about the sport itself.
Yes.
Which is what people do when they talk about stats.
Yes.
They're like
No.
how let me land because you're like yes, but you
You
don't know like where
land.
we're going. So Haaland scores 30 goals in the season because someone like Isak scores less. Haaland's goals are better, or Haaland is a better striker somehow because he accrues more numbers. But once you look at the context of what happens within those, you there's an argument to be made that Isak's goals are more important. They're more beautiful to the eye, at least for me. Like I just don't like the whole thing of justifying statistics for the sake of justifying statistics, and I feel like legacy gets in that space.
I
where-
was with you. I was with you when you were saying legacy talk is how you talk about the sport without actually having to talk about the sport.
But that's what stats are.
And I think that's an interesting but different argument, and we can do that at a different episode.
You're a stats
But
guy.
I think the point you're trying to make, or the point you hovered around, which I think is really interesting, is the reason why legacy talk has become so interesting is because you don't need too much statistical evidence to argue legacy. Because ultimately, legacy talk is this is why I like this person, or this is why I don't like this person. Because you're arguing an emotive, you're making an emotive case for things. So if Vinny does X, then this means so and so for this legacy of a player, which I already am pretty tepid on. That's what you're saying. Is I am waiting for someone to do something so I can do the thing I really want to do, which is throw pelters at this guy.
Right.
And I think the reason why legacy talk has become the dominant form of sports discussion in basketball and football and whatnot is because a lot of people don't want to talk about the X's and O's and what's going on the field anymore. They want to talk about how does this person make me feel. And the easiest way to do that is to spin it about legacy, because legacy is ultimately how did this person make loads of people feel, and how does this person make loads of people feel is one of the core arguments to legacy chat. Is so and so the GOAT? To be the GOAT, you've got to make a lot of people feel the most. Kind of. It's very hard to have a unloved GOAT.
But I think just
I listen to a lot. I listen to a lot of. I don't
You can go
listen
next,
to a lot.
AJ.
No, I'm actually lying. I don't listen to a lot of this sports discussion because I don't find it particularly interesting. Because my interest is talking about how the game is played and why certain people are good at how the game is played and how the game is constantly changing and evolving. Where a lot of this legacy debate is, this last week I saw people arguing how good was Mikel Arteta. Who cares? Who cares?
But did you see what they did to justify Arteta and Alonso? They pulled up their Premier League stat sheet and were like, well, Arteta scored more goals and got more assists, therefore he's better than Alonso because his legacy is better or whatever. It's just like, that's not how football works.
That's not how football works.
Just say you don't watch.
Just say, I like this person more than the other person. That's all they're doing. And that's why I don't find legacy conversation particularly interesting. I'm going on mute. You can all talk. Let's wrap this up in the next 5 minutes.
He's not going on mute.
No. Mine last thing because I want to just
we got to pop off.
Legacy isn't just about stats and achievements, because Zico has a legacy. He flopped and he failed in 1982. He flopped because that team should have won the World Cup in 82 because that was one of the best. That is the best team. Well, no, that is the best team never to win a World Cup. That's on the Argentina team in 06. But based on how good Zico was, how he played the game, he's got a legacy. Riquelme has a legacy. So if you're a specific player who made people feel a certain way and you played the game a certain way that was endearing to people, you can have a legacy without any UCLs, without any World Cups. So the legacy term is very fluid, and it isn't just tied to your UCLs, your World Cups, your goals, your stats.
This is where that argument falls down, though, because who makes people in this era, who gives better feeling than Neymar? Rainbow flicks, step overs, dribbles, disrespectful. Like, nobody makes you feel that way than Neymar, but people are ready to bash him compared to Vinicius. Now, Vinicius did some disgusting shit in the Champions League final with like the back heel nutmeg. He does that, but Neymar is on a completely different level. But since Vinny he's on 2 Champions Leagues, if he wins a Copa America, it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation. What I'm saying is, and I'm not saying stats are your legacy and legacy is stats. I'm saying that stats are applied in the same way legacy discourse is applied, where you don't need to watch the games. You just need to look at the Wikipedia honors, and the Wikipedia honors is used like the Wikipedia statistics. And if you've scored more goals, if X has scored more goals than Y, X is better. If X has won more Champions Leagues than Y, X is better. I don't even need to turn my TV on. I just need to go to Wikipedia. And I feel like legacy is just a Wikipedia, effectively. It sucks all of the nuance out of sports discourse, which is the worst part, because the best part is arguing. It's not just, he had 15, he had 14, so 15's better.
No, but I think anybody saying that Vini is a better footballer than Neymar is on crack cocaine.
The best point is not arguing. That's
arguing is to me. For me,
You're
in
a
my
big sicko.
opinion.
Anyway, I'm with Hope. I'm with Hope in that if you think Vinicius Junior was a better football player than Neymar, I think you are incorrect. But also, it's that thing of Vinicius Junior. Now it gets to blossom in an age without Messi and Ronaldo. So the bar for what it takes to be one of the best
You're on
football
camera,
players on the
AJ.
planet.
Chill, bro.
The bar on what it takes to be on the. Hey, let's wrap, man.
Yeah. All right. Hey, this has been the Talking Tactics podcast. We thank you guys for listening. Give us your opinions.
Yes,
in the
no,
chat.
not Enzo talk. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, man.
Oh, no,
Enzo
fuck
talk.
No, Mourinho, we
yeah.
did barely any Mourinho talk, but we'll
No,
come
no,
back.
no,
Talk soon.
no.
Yeah, talk soon.
So, Talking Tactics podcast. Half where can people find you?
Halfoffootballhot.com, baby. Around
Carl, where can people find you?
You can find my writing on The Athletic.
All the links in the description. I'm at Daniel Tiluk. Talking Tactics podcast. Sometimes funny. Whoever.
Sometimes serious.
But always football.
Indeed. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
All right.